Oftentimes when people hear the phrase American dream, they think of the traditional mid-20th century life. That included a nuclear family, as in 2 parents and kids, a nice house in a good neighborhood, and an office or factory job with a steady wage. And it's important that people consider this to be a thing of the past, since having a modern American dream would mean cohesiveness within the country, a set of common goals for all Americans, and an increase in the work ethic of citizens as they work towards a common national goal. I was inspired to do this presentation when studying first Rosie the Riveter by J. Howard Miller from the Stimulus Packet. This was a piece of propaganda released in the 1940s encouraging women to take up the factory jobs that men left as they went to war. Secondly, Richard Nixon's Labor Day address in 1972, in which he discusses the work ethic and common industrial goals of America at a time of the Vietnam War. After studying these sources, I was posed with the question, is the American dream still alive today? And I'm claiming that yes it is, and it has been modernized to include the importance of starting a small business, gender equality, and focusing on relationships as opposed to material wealth. So the first modern aspect of the American dream is the entrepreneurship. Sethi Ramit, an American author and entrepreneur, states that starting your own business is the most powerful way to take control of your life. And this idea is widely accepted among Americans since the importance to the individual and to the nation of small businesses has continued to grow over time. According to a study done by Katie McDonough, 68% of adults surveyed considered entrepreneurship the #1 most important aspect of the modern American dream. This makes sense since 28 million small businesses exist in America today, and they make up 54% of all commerce. This means that almost all Americans agree that it's the most liberating way to take advantage of the freedoms we're given as Americans. So the second modern aspect of the American dream is gender equality. From the very origins of America, as we declared our freedom from Great Britain in 1777, the Declaration of Independence granted freedoms to land ownership, political involvement, and other basic rights only to men. However, this changed greatly in the 1940s when the aforementioned Rosie the Riveter was released, encouraging women to take up industrial jobs that men could no longer do. This meant that women were now a huge part of the American dream and a huge part of industry and economy at the time. Since then, the involvement of both genders has increased greatly since there are many, many female laborers and even CEOs in America today. The third and final aspect of the modern American dream is the importance of relationships. In 1930s America, wealth, material items, and social standings were the most important things about a person. This is very relevant, as you can tell from the literature from that time, like F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, which is a novel about the extravagant lives and wealth of adults in New York in the 1930s. The wealth is represented through things like Jay Gatsby's extravagant mansion and expensive cars. Since then, this idea has been lost almost completely, since according to Io Maseka, a head editor at NAIFA Insurance, he states that the white picket fence is still important, but today, Americans seem to care more about what's going on inside the house, meaning that essentially passion trumps riches, and it's more important about who you know and who you're close to as opposed to what you have. So many people claim that since the American dream has changed so much since 1777, it's been lost completely. However, it's the changing nature of the American dream that makes it important. America is and has always been a country of growth and development. And having a common set of ideals that shift with the times allows us to stay modern. Certain countries that don't shift or haven't shifted in the past due to oppressive government control, such as Russia, Germany, and North Korea, have fallen greatly behind, while I consider, and I'm sure most Americans consider, the United States as a country of great development. So some solutions to this problem would be to release positive propaganda for all genders, races, and religions as a way to inspire success for the individual and the country. Also, more liberal acknowledgments for the work ethic of Americans, similar to Nixon's Labor Day speech in 1972. As we all know, that a little friendly competition can give people a nice nudge to work harder, and competition among peers and among industries would push America even farther, as opposed to competing with other countries.
Good afternoon, Oak Hills High School. The time is now 3:15 and the building is now closed. Unless you are here with a supervised activity or working directly with a teacher, it is now time to exit the building. Today we do not have the option of being seated at tables at the Commons. The Commons is closed as well. Go outside and enjoy the beautiful weather. Have a good evening.
Some implications to these solutions would be having an inspired nation of hard workers, since, as I mentioned, there would be some friendly competition and greater inspiration from the positive propaganda. Also, everyone would feel included, since it's most important that all Americans are able to relate the American dream to aspects of their own lives. Realizing that it is still in existence will allow people to take into account what they can pull from that and relate to their own work, family, and social lives. So in conclusion, entrepreneurship, equality, and relationships are all a part of the modern American dream. Using these three things and remembering that we are all a part of it and anyone in America can be a part of this common set of goals for all people will inspire a nation of diligent working Americans. And to end with a quote from former President Richard Nixon, "The dignity of work, the value of achievement, the morality of self-reliance, none of these is going out of style." Thank you.
Okay, Piper, a couple of questions for you. How did you select the strategies you used to gather information or conduct your research, and were they effective?
Well, I definitely used a lot of strategies that I've used in previous assignments. I always go first to EBSCO and type in keywords that I pull from the stimulus packet, such as Rosie the Riveter, World War II, and women in industry. Those are my three main foundations for conducting my research, and I thought they were very effective because they allowed me to stem into other areas of research, like I mentioned, different parts of industry having competition, which was also high during World War II as women were joining the workforce.
Okay. And then your other question would be, explain the level of certainty that you have about your conclusion, solution, or recommendation.
I'm very certain with my solutions and my conclusions because I thought that they could apply to everyone, no matter where you worked or your social standings, whether that be lower, middle, or upper class. Everybody can relate to this common set of goals and pull certain things that they want to relate to their own lives.